This is Elle's best idea in life so far.
This is Paddock 43, the podcast, your weekly rundown giving you all things F1 from both on and off the track.
From races, trades, rumours, the lifestyle, and all the things that come with the F1 world.
We are Amy, Elle and Pat. Let's get into it. Get in, Patty.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
How you doing?
Get in. Get in.
It's roving studio time.
Roving studio time.
Roving studio
Oh,
time.
shit. If I could drive the fucking car.
Nice.
Drive the studio. How are
Drive
you?
the studio. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good.
It's hot today and
I feel like it wasn't
like-
even supposed to be that hot. And it's...
in like a 3-day hangover at the moment.
She's a little bit dusty. She's a little bit dusty.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. What did you get up to? What day is it today? It's Monday. What
It's
did you get
Monday.
up to over the weekend?
I went for a dog walk and landed on a bottle of Prosecco. So, you know,
Just landed on it.
landed on
You
it,
just
and
fell on it.
and it just kept me there, and I was able to stay up, even though I probably can't stay up to watch the F1 at the moment. But there's no F1 on at the
There's
moment.
no F1. There's
did you
nothing
do?
on until a few weeks.
No.
What did I do? Honestly, recently I'm like, I don't even remember what I did this morning. What did I do? Saturday. What did I do? Oh, Saturday. See, Peter and I had
you know that you're getting old. That
I
you're
know,
like,
what did I do?
I don't remember what I did.
So Saturday we had a cute little date night, Peter and I.
Love that for
We
you.
had, there's this restaurant that we like to get dumplings at, so we went there. And then we were going to go for a drink after. We're like, yeah, let's go for a drink. And then the girls that were looking after Gabriel, they're like, he's cracking it. And so we went home, but then they managed to calm him down. And then we were like, damn, we could have gone for a drink. But then we ended up staying up with them and just like chatting and
God.
gossiping. And
Don't go for drinks.
yeah,
Do not drink. It's
Like-
a bad idea.
I drank at home. So I was like, you know what, Peter? I'm going to give him my pumped bottle, my pumped milk instead. So I'm going to have a few drankies.
All right. Well, we're in the studio, in our roving studio. If you didn't already know,
Yes,
I
we're here.
picked Pat up in my ML.
Yeah.
We're in the Mercedes ML today.
We're in the big boy.
She's another
big boy.
She's another. Well, I'd say
She.
she's a girl.
She's
I
a
call this
big girl.
car a girl. We've
Yep.
parked. We're in a nice little spot. I
Yep.
thought about going to go get Slurpees at 7-Eleven. But then I was like, I just don't know if I could do both right now. But
If you could do both.
I don't know, like,
What do you mean both? What else are you
talk
drinking?
and get a Slurpee.
Oh,
I just feel like I'd occupy myself. Anyway, so
fuck, you mentioned Slurpee now. I want one. For those international listeners, a Slurpee is like
a slushy?
Yeah, slushy.
So what do you call it overseas?
Yeah, slushy.
A slushy. And it's just like different flavours. We can go get one if you
I
want
think
it.
we should.
All right. Looks like I'm starting the car again. I'm going to go
Put
get
the
one.
seatbelts back on.
Seatbelts on. Safety first.
First.
And I'll tell you a little bit about the ML. So I actually...
No, let me... tell us about the ML.
Oh, sorry.
Before you jump the gun,
I
let me,
was just going to talk to you
jump
about
the gun.
it. All right. Looks like we're going to off to go get Slurpees while I
Off
tell
to
you about
go
it.
get Slurpee.
So it is a second-hand ML. She is a bit of a classic. She has blue tech, and for those who don't know what blue tech is, do not fucking worry. I feel like it's such a technical thing that only like real car nerds would love. It's just caused me freaking pain having to add blue and then having issues with the NOx sensor, which caused like a 7k bill. But that's
Well,
fine.
I think
We'll
people
talk
are going to
about
be
it
interested, so maybe we should put here what blue tech is.
There you go.
Ding.
And now you've read it. If you haven't, sorry if you were
Put on
listening to
pause
this and
and
you're not watching this on YouTube. But yeah, so I bought this secondhand. She is a very classic car. Sorry, going over speed bumps, yep. And she
She is
a
classic.
soccer mum car.
She is a soccer mum
She's
car.
navy. She has white, grey leather seats, which is not great for the girls with fake tan or boys with fake tan.
When you said girls, I thought you were referring to your dogs, but yeah,
Oh yeah, no, hides the dog hair actually quite well, so
that's great.
that works out for me. But yeah, I
Nice.
love this car.
I also love this car.
Big tank, 80-litre tank, lasts a while.
She's diesel, isn't she?
She's diesel. She's not great for driving in the city. Obviously, diesel's better for longer. It is funny that when my mum bought this car, and back in 2013, whenever people bought cars around that like era, everyone was purchasing diesel.
Diesel, yeah.
Because it seems like the more economical thing
Yeah.
to do, and like that you were going to be saving on fuel and going round, and it was cheaper.
And turns out that's not the case unless you live somewhere
unless you're
rural
traveling,
or something, or traveling
on the
distances.
one road for a further distance. There's literally no
like
point
usually
to
Peter
it.
and I most people know that Peter works in basketball or was working in basketball, and we would go to Adelaide for Easter for like a basketball tournament, and we always take his dad's car because it's diesel and it's also very comfortable.
It's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird. Anyway, I feel
Hope
like
the engine doesn't blow up because I keep starting it. I've got to turn off the eco function.
Yeah, you should.
What's
I had to
going
do
on?
that in my car, which
I know,
will,
but I like permanently have to have it turned off. Like I can't permanently turn it off. There's a lot of like annoying little features in this car, but it is beautiful. Drives beautifully. It is a Mercedes. It's a classic one. The interior is your classic older interior.
They don't age.
It
these
hasn't
interiors.
aged. The one interior that is up, like the upgrade, I guess you would call it, is the ones that have the beautiful long screen displays.
7-Eleven.
We're here at 7-Eleven, and
You can buy your Slurpees or slushies at 7-Eleven.
makes it fantastic. All right, bear with us. We're just going to go get some Slurpees.
We'll be back. This is Elle's best idea in life so far.
It's hot. I'm hungover. All right. Hang on, we need to get in.
That would be
How do we
nice.
get in this car? We are back in the ML 350 Blue Tech Mercedes.
Cheers!
without Slurpees.
I love hungover Elle. She makes great decisions.
Oh, I'm 30 and the hangovers just do not hit very well anymore.
Like, we need to clear some room here.
Yeah, alright. Alright, we're back in the car.
We are back, baby.
So Patty, F1 world, it's been an interesting week.
It's been an interesting
Talk
week.
to me. Talk to
Well,
me.
I think we have to address, this actually happened, I think the day after we recorded last week.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to know your thoughts around how our lovely steak team handled this.
Oh,
So, last week, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, we found out that Zhou, Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas are out next season. We'd been waiting so long for this.
yeah.
We were speculating, is one of them going to stay? We thought
I think we knew that they were I thought for a while that both would be done and out. Like I just assumed that was going to happen. I don't know. What do you think?
No, well, I remember speaking about this, and I was like, on paper, it makes sense for both of them to be out, but then we really did think that Zhou Guanyu would stay because of the China backing and China having a driver, fan base, like it just made sense. We'd also speculated the fact that Valtteri probably just wants to go and ride a bike. Also, side note, he did an Ironman in his bedroom this week.
Yes, he's been away. Okay, so it's probably been my favourite content ever to consume. Has been Valtteri Bottas and his friend. I don't know where they've been. Okay, I think he was in Belgium or something like that doing something with, I don't know, there was a fry shop that he was with and he was serving people's orders.
Yep.
But then he was with his friend, and his friend, obviously it's been announced that he's out.
Yep.
Zhou Guanyu has stated, by the way, that he's looking for a way to stay in F1. Valtteri's nah, bye. See ya.
Bye. Which we knew.
We knew that was going to happen, but he literally just been thanks for everything, see ya. It also almost didn't really seem like he cared. And this is what I've been saying all along, that he did not care, and that is why he is out of F1, because he wanted to be out of
He did
the
not
F1.
care. He cares more about cycling.
Yeah, I think he's just
And wine.
enjoying his life.
And he should be. He's
Anyway,
worked hard. He's worked very hard. And
obviously, everyone goes, well, what's next?
Of course.
What's
Always
next
the
for
case.
you? And his friend has filmed him all weekend saying, so Valtteri, what's next? In that accent as well, obviously.
So
That's
Valtteri, what's next?
And he just kept saying different things. He'd be like, oh, well, dinner's next. And then they went and had dinner. And then his friend would be like, so Valtteri, what's next? And he's like, a sauna. And there was just random shit like that. And then his friend was like, so what's next? I think you should do an Ironman. And you just see Valtteri go, ugh. And so his friend made him do an Ironman in, their hotel
Hotel room.
It will look like a 15-metre pool, and he's like swum the distance of an Ironman in there. And he had to do it before sunset.
What talent.
Which is just insane. And then he did the bike on a stationary bike. They filmed that.
Yep.
And yeah.
I'm taking my seatbelt off, by the way.
Oh no, we're parked.
We're parked now. We're parked.
So we can undo the seatbelt.
Yep.
Let go of that one. What did you think of the whole situation?
Well, so that happened. It got announced, and this is where I'm intrigued to know your thoughts. So it got announced. Yeah, I was surprised, not surprised. Obviously not surprised because they weren't performing, but I also think the car isn't performing. We know that Valtteri can perform, and also Zhou, actually. Zhou has performed as well. Now, what I find interesting is that...
Has Zhou performed?
Yeah. Okay, no.
When has Zhou performed?
Somewhat, okay, not somewhat.
Seriously.
Somewhat, okay, but I think what's been going on at stake this season is like no other, where they literally have no points.
It's not uncommon.
So, the pineapple's good. I'm really regret not getting the super size. Anyway, what I find interesting is that they release Zhou is out, Valtteri is out. You think they would like wait sometime? You think they would wait? 15 minutes later, they announce the seat is filled. The seat is filled. 10 minutes later, the seat is filled by Gabriel Bortoleto.
Oh, you say that name right.
Also, I love the name.
Yeah, no, you say that name right. We'll have to do a mini on him now because
We do. We have
like,
to do
who the
a
fuck
video
is
on
he?
him
And I know so many other people are like, who is this guy?
Yep.
I don't think the wait time was. I think it was fine.
Yeah.
But they did the same shit for Daniel Ricciardo. Like every team does that.
I know, but it's
Every team
okay,
announces
bye.
someone's leaving.
Okay,
Yeah, but they
bye.
say bye and then they have to drop like who's coming in
No, I reckon
before
they
it gets
need to-
leaked.
No, I think they need to have more excitement, more like, oh my god, who's coming in? Who's coming in? Who's coming in? Let people talk, because that
but
is
it's already
and you
organised
have-
and gets leaked.
I know, but you have a marketing brain now. You should know that you want to build hype and make people
I think
talk.
there's already enough hype.
No,
Because there's so much
I think they can
speculation
wait
that
for
goes into like them. Like, I mean, that's probably actually the only. Actually, it's probably the only rumor this year that we've not known about.
Yeah, every
Every other
everyone
rumor that we hear ends up coming
Expected,
to
yeah.
fruition
Yeah.
and truth.
there was no rumor, which
Yeah.
makes me think like
Interesting.
he's got tight-lipped friends and family.
Who?
Gabriel,
Gabriel?
yeah,
Gabriel?
and a
possibly.
great PR team, or,
Or the fact that just no one knows really who he
he
is
is.
unless they're like absolute super fans and just like hardcore European. European, pretty
Yeah.
much. Anyone in Australia, like, I feel like it'd be such a small percentage.
But yeah, excited to see what he'll bring. Another rookie,
Yeah.
and we've got one more seat left.
I know. Visa cash up.
Who's going to be Yuki's teammate?
I honestly have no fucking idea.
Neither.
Like, I don't know who would even deserve
Franco Colapinto.
to be in that seat. It probably is Franco. I'm very curious to know who was in that seat.
Yeah, well, we'll get there one day. But I hope it's Franco, or could it be Zhou Guanyu? Who knows?
Oh my god, imagine if Zhou Guanyu going to Visa Cash Up. That would be interesting. Oh my god, he's going to take the Visa Cash App seat.
Yeah. You heard
You're
it here
right.
first, folks.
He will.
Yeah.
Unless I'm really wrong about that one.
Maybe. Maybe.
Hey, the Drivers Association, by the way.
Oh.
Mic drop moment
drop.
when they did that.
Mic drop moment.
What do you think?
I fucking love it. And let me say, I fucking love it. Because, you know, I'm saying that on purpose because I want to swear. Because, you know, the whole one big chunk of this letter
it's
that was
about.
written by George Russell.
Don't tell us that we can't fucking swear because we are fucking adults.
Yes, exactly. I love it so much.
Was it written by George Russell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he actually wrote it.
I
Obviously,
didn't know
everyone
that
came
fact.
together. Yep.
I saw a bunch of memes about George Russell afterwards,
Yeah.
and like, that now makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Oh.
Yeah, so I love that he was like
The writer.
the writer represented.
Interesting.
But yeah, so everyone's heard about it. If you haven't, I don't know, go on to social
living
media.
under a rock.
Yeah, you're living under a rock, which I actually said on our TikTok. If you're living under a rock. But I love, so basically, they're one of the main things I've spoken about is the swearing part. let them swear. Understandably, you probably can't swear to someone else. But when you're saying, oh, this fucking car isn't working, it's okay.
If it's about a situation that involves just yourself, or okay, what about it saying you're a fucking idiot?
Yeah, no, that I understand getting fined for that.
Do you?
Yeah.
But my big question is, like, I agree. I want to know, where is that money going? He made such a good point.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think,
the other one.
because
Where's the
it
money
is
going?
this... But then you hear also stuff like, okay, they don't actually pay, like, the fines 9 times out of 10.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that?
No.
Yeah, he made a really good point of, like, where is this money going? Like, does it go to, you know, you hear it's so expensive to put on a Grand Prix. Does it go into a pool or something like that? Then, like, you know, people can take out of it, like, governments or privately owned people, I don't know, like, that are putting on these massive events for them.
I feel like this has opened up. I mean, this specific...
especially being Liberty, who've just also bought MotoGP.
Yeah.
And then are Middle Eastern owned. I think people up.
I think this specific point of where the money goes, I know for probably everyone, has opened up a can of worms, because it's making me think, me personally, it's making me think of a lot of things of how the FIA works. It makes me, okay, obviously FIA has a lot of staff. The staff get paid. But then you think about, obviously, F1 pays the FIA. There would be so many contracts in place where FIA is earning money to pay their staff. So the thing is, where does this money go? And then it makes me think, okay, here's like a good analogy, right? You know when you go to like a bachelorette party, right? And you go
hang on. I love that we've gone from discussing FIA, the inner workings and money,
to a bachelorette party.
Comparing it to a bachelorette.
A bachelorette, or actually any kind of party that, like, that you have to pay for, right? Or like a holiday or something. And you go and you're like, wow, I've paid all this money, but like, what's to show for it?
Okay, so...
Right?
Okay, so if we explain a little bit more, I understand, like, I give you $400 to the bridal party to put on...
That's an expensive bachelorette, but yes.
Or hens, or whatever you want to call it, or bucks. What am I actually getting back?
Right.
From that pool of money?
And then this exact analogy makes me think of the whole thing of the fact that, just specifically looking at this recently, that Charles Leclerc's fine for swearing, $10,000 if he doesn't offend of a similar nature in 12 months, it comes down to 5,000 euros, 10,000 euros. But then Lando Norris got charged 5,000 euros because of the false start, which is like, and these are the sort of things we're like, wait, huh? How does that, you get charged so much more for this, but then you don't get charged for this? And then it makes you think, like, what are these rules in place? Like, it seems so up in the air and unclear, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's stupid.
And then it's the whole thing of, okay, so it's like, so we spoke about this last week, but obviously the charges, it's a bit, what's the word?
Stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. And then you think, where does the money go? So I'm really excited.
Can of worms.
Yeah, it's a can of worms. I'm really excited to see what's going to come out of this.
I actually don't think anything will come out of it, though, until like the off season, like our summer break, their winter break, Christmas break, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are in the world. I reckon that's when all of this.
I reckon they're going to start like doing a little strike. If this gets pushed under the rug.
Yeah, I mean,
if this gets pushed under the rug, they're going to start, I don't know, driver's strike or something fun.
What would happen if there was a driver's strike right now?
Not now.
No, but like, imagine if there was a driver's strike that happened with the current grid.
Yeah.
Oh my god, imagine if they striked in Vegas because they don't really like the Vegas track. Although they all said last year they had fun.
Yeah. Anyway.
By the way, Melbourne listeners, speaking of Vegas, we're going to be putting on a little watch party.
Yeah, a little watch party.
Check on Instagram.
If you're not in Melbourne, you should come down, because at least you can watch with us.
There'll be details that pop up on that one.
Sick car.
Oh.
Is that a Lotus? It is a Lotus.
Yeah, that is a...
stunning boy.
And a beautiful green.
Like emerald green Lotus.
Sorry back there.
Side note. Okay, anyway, moving on.
Look, I think elephant in the room is a Danica Patrick.
Elephant in the room, she sinks into her seat.
Elephant in the room is that a petition to get Danica Patrick
Fired.
Yeah. I think it's nearly 15,000 signatures. I could be wrong on that. It was definitely over 10,000 on the weekend.
Yeah. Basically, people wanted to get fired because she...
I mean, we're Australian. Like, how can we have a fucking opinion on political... Like... Okay, no, I get it. Okay. And we could turn this into a political podcast, which we're not going to.
No.
And I'm not learning myself to Harris or Trump or whatever.
No.
Fucking, I don't understand their parties. I don't understand their politics. They're kind of like... In Australia, they're Labor and Liberal, both of them. So I'm like, we don't align... Like, I align to some policies, align to others. I do not align to taking the rights of women.
No. Absolutely
That's
not. Fucked.
But also, I'm like, you can't fire someone over their political opinions.
I know. I think this
like,
one's...
they just want her out because they don't like her in general, and she's just been like, I love Trump. Like, but she might like Trump for other things, for his other political views, not that part.
I think, I sort of had this take until I did a bit of research.
Yeah.
And I
haven't done any research.
Yeah, I actually
my personal opinion.
No, I agree. And I do agree that, like, politics and your
and
job
the workplace should
not
never
get
be
involved, right? And it's like that whole, like, age-old thing when they say, like, don't talk about politics or religion at the dinner table, or, like, with people, even though obviously you talk about politics and religion. But my one thing is, which
I think it's healthy to have an open political discussion with your friends.
Agreed. 100% agreed. I think the only issue that I noticed, or the thing that I noticed, is that she is, if you go on her social media, heavily promoting Trump, and she's like, women for Trump, and like does talks and is constantly posting about it. And nowadays I think like social media is so like closely
they just pick
tied.
one thing though.
I know, and I think it's one of those things that like I initially thought like, oh, she just done like 1 or 2 posts about Trump. Her last like 15 posts are all about Make America Great Again, wearing her MAGA hats.
But like, she might not be aligned to the women's rights things, but she might be aligned to other things. It's just because that is like the strongest story.
What
I get, but I don't think that she should. I mean, look, I don't love her as a commentator.
No, neither do I. Fine.
So I think there
maybe
are better
people
commentators
like
out there.
now we have an excuse.
Yeah, I think it's literally just that.
But this is the problem as well with these sorts of things.
Social media.
I know, and this is the problem with these sorts of things is like when someone comes out with a controversial opinion or something, nowadays it's like highly likely that someone can lose their job, especially because people are like, she is influencing a big group of people on something that she shouldn't. And again, coming back to like the masses, if there is a mass group of people, for example, of Sky News, they're probably going to see like, they're going to get her out because there's going to be a bunch of people that are saying like, boycott Danica, I don't want to watch, which means we're losing listeners, viewers, which means we lose money.
Well, everyone wants now, like in Australia, we have KO Sports, which is Foxtel, so Sky Sports, essentially. Like, it's all like entwined. So that's what we get if you pay for KO. But if you want, and that's where we get all our other sport here in Australia. And it is a great platform because there's a lot on there.
There's everything.
You got everything. But
except
you
for
only,
Copa America,
you only get Sky Sports. And now, like, everyone here in Australia is wanting, you know, Formula 1 TV and stuff like that, so they can listen to people like Ruth Buthcombe.
I would love...
And she's fantastic to listen to.
Yeah.
But we just don't have that access here in Australia.
I know, we don't.
No, because they don't have the rights for
if we could switch off Danica, we would.
But I like everyone else in Sky Sports.
Yeah.
I like everyone. So it's just her.
Do you know what I'm so intrigued about?
But it's not because of her political opinions. I couldn't give it to, like... It is what it is. I hate to say that, and I think it's so fucking wrong that what they're doing over there, but also we're in Australia.
Yeah.
We cannot control that. We can put out that good influence and say, hey, we're fighting the good fight for us as females.
Yeah.
But it's so far removed from F1. Like, we cannot
do you know what, though? I think she's just shot herself in the foot and shot herself in the foot by going so hard at something that is like very divisive in the US and is controversial.
It's so divisive though. But
we'll see.
Divisive, but
it's a tricky one.
All right,
it's a tricky one. It's a very tricky one, but who knows if she'll lose her job or not. Either way, I don't actually really like her, so if she's gone, cool. Just another reason
Literally
to kick
talk
her
about
out.
politics and F1 forever.
Hey, there's something that I forgot to add onto our notes.
Yeah? What?
Have you heard about the discussions about rotations? Track rotations? Track rotations.
No, I haven't.
There's been some chit chat in the F1 world about potentially doing some rotations on tracks within the European circuits.
What do you mean?
As in, like, let's say hypothetically, they take away Zandvoort and they put on a race in Turkey instead. Or they take away this. Yeah.
So just like rotate through the European tracks?
I think so, but I think places like Monza and Silverstone
would
always be
I think they
key.
thinking of doing that when they reintroduce South Africa. Because then also it got Chicago that was trademarked.
I know. Well,
Remember
and that was the other thing where I'm like, are they going to have to do like a European rotation?
Because they can't add any more races.
America's rotation.
It's like they've already added a lot of races.
They cannot add any more.
The drivers have even said we can't do any more.
No, they'll
Although
die.
they do get paid so much money.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. I think but I was thinking.
toll on its body, but I reckon the biggest toll is that 3 week at the end of the year with Vegas, Qatar.
I'm scared.
Abu Dhabi.
I'm scared for the Vegas Qatar block. But yeah, I think I read an article about it the other day. Maybe we can chat more about this another time. But I'm interested. Like, I think it'll be nice to give maybe not such well-known tracks a chance.
I think it's a great thing for tourism.
Yeah, and great for tourism, great for the economy, great for a new fan base as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Pat's just like topping up. She's checking something on her phone.
Oh my god. I was like,
and she's finishing mice.
Oh my god, you can't script that. I'm actually really sorry. I was like deep throating your straw. I'm so sorry.
I got the bigger one.
Anyway, moving on. Goss in the F1 world. So sorry for that. Oh gosh.
Okay.
So sorry about that. Goss in the F1
Didn't
world.
want it anyway.
Sorry.
Yep. Go on.
I read an article the other day about Mr. Liam Lawson himself
Yeah.
cracking it.
What's he cracking at?
He's cracking it. He's
What's he
getting
got-
very...
what the fuck's
he's an
he-
angry boy. He's
What's
an
he
angry
got to
boy.
crack it at about?
He said that
He's got everything he wanted.
He calls bullshit on the British national anthem playing when McLaren won. Because McLaren was founded by a legend of New Zealand motorsport. So he is angry that the New Zealand national anthem isn't played instead of the British.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That is so you're clutching at straws.
Clutching at straws, yeah. He's clutching
Like,
at
I'm
straws.
sorry.
No.
Is that then like okay, hang on. Then that goes sort of like into the Australian anthem when Indigenous people are not happy about the Australian anthem being played sometimes.
No, it's different.
Different?
Completely
But if
different.
it's something's founded by someone else,
It's different
or are you
because
clutching at straws because it is an automotive team?
I think, yeah, it's clutching at straw because it's an automotive team and because McLaren has been operating out of the UK for however many years and they're a UK-based team. So I think he's just...
Liam Lawson, what are you up in a tizzy about this national anthem situation? I would like to have a conversation about it with you because I also, like, I don't know. I think it's not right. Anyway, yep.
Next thing.
Yeah, what's been happening?
Our sexy... Is it weird that I call him sexy? No.
Who are you calling
Our
sexy?
sexy boy Franco Colapinto.
Our number 43. Yeah, what's 43 up to?
Our 43, our boy, has gone on a little liking spree.
What do you mean?
He's gone on a liking spree. I think he's like, oh, yep, I was on the cover of Forbes Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm hot.
Yeah.
And he gone on a little liking spree.
Who's he been liking? Did he like us?
Yeah, he did. No, I wish. All right. I'm going to go through the list.
I got excited. I was like, oh my God, Frankie Colapinto.
I love the fans that just do, like, their stalking. That's a really cool car too. Do their stalking sprees. So he has been found to like a bunch of Charles Leclerc's ex-girlfriend, Charlotte Sin. Been liking her photos.
The ex-girlfriend, yeah.
The ex-GF,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So who knows if he's going to slide on in there.
Yeah.
He's also been liking, so found 2 more people. Luisinha Barrosa, Lando Norris's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And another one is Giada, one of Charles Leclerc's ex-girlfriends before Charlotte. He doesn't follow any of the girls, he's just been liking them.
What, like, he just, like, liked a bunch of photos or just one?
I think like a couple of photos.
Okay, so obviously Franco is single and is like, right, I need a girl that understands the F1 world.
Yeah, he does. And we all know that the F1 world is a fucking puddle.
Yeah.
It's a puddle.
Good luck to you, Franco.
Good luck to you, Franco, but I want him to...
Maybe he'll meet a nice little Aussie gal.
Yeah, maybe he should...
No?
Maybe.
Not for an Aussie?
I don't know.
Does he speak much English?
Of course he does. They all speak English.
Sometimes they don't speak great English. It was
I think
like
Yuki was the only one, but then he got so... Like, he's improved so much.
Do you remember when Carlos Sainz did like a Christmas thing when he was at McLaren and he's like, Maria Keris?
Nah.
What did he say?
That wasn't an English thing. That was Maria Carey. And Lando was like, what? He's like, all I want for Christmas. He's like, Maria Carey. He's like, Maria Carey.
You mean Mariah Carey?
Yeah. No, that's not an English thing. That's just an accent thing. But Yuki, I remember Yuki's English. Yuki had a very low level of English, and he's improved so much, and I've really loved watching that. But anyway, no, if he does, I think
Pop off Yuki.
I hope he does end up with one of those girls because they're all hot, and he's hot, and yeah.
Maybe he'll sweep Kika from Pierre Gasly. You've got something about Kika?
I do have something about Kika.
What's Kika
and
doing?
I have a little quiz for you.
Oh, shit.
No, it's not a quiz.
Yes. Oh, okay.
It's not a quiz, it's a question.
Yeah.
So, an article came out the other day. She was on the cover of I can't remember if it was a Portuguese magazine or something. They interviewed her, just speaking about her life, about how much she's grown in the F1 world, about how much they love, or people have fallen for her.
Yeah.
Fallen for her and Pierre together. And I want to ask you, how much do you think Kika gets paid per Instagram post? And there's a number between X and X. How much roughly do you think she gets paid?
What's her following?
Ooh, as of
They don't know.
Ooh.
Oh, you right? Dropping.
All right, let's see.
As of the 11th of November 2024, her following is
918k
Alright, so she's not quite at the 1 mil mark. I reckon she's getting paid between...
in euros.
Oh, in euros?
Yeah.
Oh, that's different because I'm thinking Australian
Okay,
market. No, I think it's like probably roughly like 20 to 50,000 euros.
Per post?
Yeah.
Yeah, one number is right. She gets paid between 5,000 and 20,000 per post.
Oh, that's not a lot.
Euros.
That's not a lot.
She also models though, so I guess like modeling.
Yeah, that's not a
aside,
lot for someone that's nearly got 1 million followers.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that's nothing. Like, she should be charging, whoever's her management, they're charging completely wrong.
Well, we can see here her management is Central Models and Elite Model World.
Someone, Central Models and Elite Model World.
Pay her more.
Pay her more.
Pay her more!
Per post. So was that the article? Just about her?
Yeah, just about her. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Keiko, you're getting paid under, honey. Demand more. You've got nearly 1 million followers.
And you're starting.
Use that to your advantage.
But I think that's all the goss we got this week.
I've got no goss for you, so yeah, there's a goss. Green flag, red flag of the week.
Of the week.
Of the week.
Of the week.
What's your green flag of the week?
I'll start. Okay, so my green flag. The other day, Sunday,
Yeah.
I was thinking, I need to think about my green flag for the week. And I was thinking I was going to say my date night with Peter. When Peter and I have date night, we're like two little children drinking sake. But then, as I was thinking about my green flag, I was like, I have a new one. Sunday morning, Peter went and did some work stuff. This guy he built a website for. Anyway, whatever. And I went for a walk with Gabriel. Big, long walk. It was such a beautiful day. And I was walking along Beach Road. For those that don't know, Melbourne, I'm a Bayside girl, live near the beach, and I was walking along Beach Road, and their road was closed.
Yeah.
Like there must have been a triathlon or something, and it
that
was
was a triathlon, yes.
dead silent. Like it was so quiet, and I was like, you don't just have a moment where you're like, I am so content with the smallest little thing. Like right now it was so sunny. Gabriel was smiling at me. It was just such a beautiful day, and like, I don't know, for a Sunday it's usually so packed. How wholesome is that? Usually it's so packed, so I was like, it was just so nice, and it kind of reminded me, in Venezuela there is a highway that every Sunday they close, and people like rollerblade and stuff.
Absolutely dying inside because our green flag's are complete opposite.
Yeah, yours is like litty titty, mine is wholesome AF, and it reminds me of when they close the highway in Venezuela.
We are in different life stages.
And my red, no,
I get that though. That would be also a green flag for me.
And it was like, because I was like, I need to think of something wholesome. And my red flag, as of 2 days ago, my first car has been sold.
Oh,
it
is sad.
My little manual Tiguan. I've had him since 2013. My first car, and he sold. And I literally this morning said goodbye and like was hugging it and like, oh my god.
Like no one understands. Like I mean, everyone that sold a car understands. When you lose your first car, you're like,
it's so emotional.
It's emotional.
It was so. I was like,
my first car was a Tiguan.
Really?
Yeah, it was really sad. I remember like driving to the dealership to go give it to them to get my new car. And it was the saddest moment. I remember bawling my eyes and like, I was like, is this what I want to do?
And I was like, maybe I keep it. Peter's like, we're not keeping your car. I was like, but maybe we can. He's like, no. Even my mum was like, Valtteri. My mum's like, Valtteri, I'll buy it. I'm like, Mum, you don't need 2 cars. She's like, no, I will buy it. I'm like, Mum, you're not buying my car. We need to let go. We need to be logical and not emotional. Anyway,
classic.
What are your green? I know what your green flag is.
My green flag is that, look, even though my red flag was my severe hangover yesterday, and I had to go to one of my best friend's lunches.
Elle had told me she wasn't doing anything Saturday night.
I was supposed to have a quiet night in. I was going to go have a girl dinner.
And
I was reading my book at 2 p.m. in bed on Saturday.
She was. And then.
I even sent a photo of my hair with a face mask on.
The only reason I knew that didn't happen is because Sunday morning I'm on Instagram and then I see you put to your close friends that she'd spent like $40 at Guzman and Gomez on Uber Eats. I was like, oh.
On one burrito.
Oh, she hung over. I see. And I was like, is she alive? Is she okay? What has she done? Just speaking to
the worst part was I'd actually like told so many people that I was so excited to have this quiet night in because Tom was going to this Bucks. So I was like, I was really, really excited for it. And so I'm in bed all afternoon reading, and it was great. Like, I even sent photos to friends of like my hair on like a towel turban in bed reading my book with the dogs on me. Like, it couldn't have got more wholesome. And then I was like, oh, I should probably walk the dogs at 6 o'clock. They probably need to go to the toilet. So I did that. And I bumped into my neighbour, who I've not hung out with before. We just got chatting, and then she was like, hey, do you want to come over for a drink? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I loved it. I don't know what just convinced me. I thought maybe I just have one drink.
Kate.
And then I went crashed the 30th, which was a private function, and I was turned out I knew everyone, and they were like, what are you doing here? And then we went to a house party.
You know what's funny?
When it was just a lot.
But
I didn't pay for a single thing the whole night, which was also my green flag.
Yeah, that is a massive green flag. Sunday was, Peter and I were driving, and I was listening to your voice message, and Peter was like, that is my biggest fear. Crashing a 30th that you're not invited to. I'm like, I'm so fucking proud. I would absolutely do that. He's like, I know you would. I was like, I'm just so happy Elle had such a fun night.
I would never do that. Like, I have no idea what overcame me. Like, Tom was at the Bucks, and I didn't even tell him I went out. And I got home at like 3-4 a.m. or something like that.
Was he already home?
No, he got home like probably 10 minutes after me. But I was passed out by that point, and I told him in the morning. He was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I'm so hungover. He was like, what? Didn't you have like a nice night in? I was like, nope. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
I was like, I went for a dog walk and tripped on a bottle of Prosecco.
Next minute, she's home at 4 a.m. No, I love that. I was like, this is what you need to do when you don't have a child. You can just do this spontaneous shit.
I was really much living my best life. But anyway.
Good girl. I'm proud. But
sweating it out today still.
Yeah, she's sweating out, which is great. I also am benefiting from the hangover.
I was benefiting from it, but then Pat drank my Slurpee. That's my new red flag of the week.
Oopsie, sorry.
Look, I'm going to go drop you home.
Yes.
So whilst I'm dropping you home, let's
drive.
Wrap up the podcast
Wrap it up.
episode.
Wrap it up. But yeah, no more F1. No F1 this coming weekend either. So we'll see what's in the news this next week.
We're going to do a mini on Gabrielle.
Yes, and actually we've got a couple of minis that we need to release.
Yeah,
as well, which we actually filmed when Amy was with us, so you'll get to hear our lovely Amy.
She's technically back on the podcast.
She's back. Amy's back.
Which we love.
Which we actually,
It'll be nice to hear her voice again.
It will be. So we've got a couple of minis that we have to come out, and we will, I think later on this week as well, we'll start sort of releasing more information about our Las Vegas viewing party.
Definitely.
Very similar vibes to last time, Orong Hotel.
We're also thinking there's going to be like a bunch of different prizes, and I think there might be one at Crown Casino or something to do with that. I think there's going to be dinner vouchers, like drink vouchers, a lot of bunch of different things. So I've got to like have a think about what the competition is. But we were thinking maybe like a Vegas dress up competition. Yeah. I kind of think that might be a vibe. And if you also haven't entered our Lick It and Send It competition on Instagram, make sure you do that.
Please.
And we'd love to see you at the Vegas event, but we will keep an eye on our Instagram when the Eventbrite link goes out, because you will need that. It's free, by the way. It's free to come.
It's free. You can just buy your drinks, buy some food.
And you're more than welcome to come by yourself as well, because loads of people do.
I'm excited because last time...
There's a couple that came from one of these events. Like, these events are awesome.
People have connected and made friends in these events.
Yeah, from all over the world.
I'm
excited. I know people that like met up at Silverstone because they met through one of our events.
Yes, yeah.
Like, that's cool.
I'm really excited because last time I couldn't drink because I was pregnant, so I'm going to have a wine.
I got so drunk for you.
Prosecco. You did get drunk for me. Actually, we'll have some Sims as well set up, so I think we'll do something about like the fastest lap.
Yep.
We'll do as well the top 10 drivers. Remember we did that last time?
Yeah.
So it's just a very fun time. I know last time as well, like it booked out pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so
I think it sold out in like 24 hours.
Yeah, so
there's like 150 spots or something like that where the pub can fit in. Look, you can also go out elsewhere in the pub, but like if you want to be in our 2 rooms, it's like a whole
which you want to, because it's vibey.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll love you and leave you. Thank you for listening and for watching on our YouTube.
Bye. And don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you've share. Also on YouTube and wherever you're listening, and all of the above. Okay, bye.
Okay, we've wrapped up recording, and about 20 seconds later, I picked up my Slurpee and it has spilt all over Elle's car.
Fucking bitch, pretty much. So, like, she's picked up my Slurpee, obviously, and started drinking it before, so she's hoofed and finished my Slurpee down. Literally hoofed it. Like, you can hear it in the audio of her, like, slurping this thing.
It's called a Slurpee for a reason.
And then she's picked up her one and spilt it all over my car.
Please refer to the YouTube to see the mess. Anyway, thank you for listening. Bye!